Good morning, pregame crew. How are you doing? Pavel, Night Truck, Fat N, Roger, Luciano, Topher, John. You're welcome, John, for the BA Nugget. Diego, Joe, Bullet, Dino, Wave. We'll go over Neo Wave. XBI, we'll try to look at that. Awesome, Mark. Hi. Jorge, Mary, Bobo. There you go, Chuck. Thank you. My day can get started. Hi, Gareth. How are you? Hey, boss man. How are you? Okay, let me go back up. We will definitely be going over Neo. Everybody's going to want to talk about Neo. Or BNA, maybe? Oh, thank you. So today's going to be a weird day. I am personally trained that gap ups are for selling. However, this is some major short squeezes going on. So we don't want to step in front of the bull train and get ran over. Think about how many times they've been on the sidelines in the last few months. So this may be their time to shine. So we need to be ready and have a little bit conviction. Wait to see another card. You want to make sure you have friends with you on the trade. We have a busy day today. We got Zelensky going before Congress in 36 minutes at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Eastern. So we'll see if he says anything that could impact the market. Then we have, of course, FOMC at, I always have to do the math. It's at 2:30 Eastern. Yeah, 2:30 Eastern. So we have a very, very busy day. And I think it always, well, I don't like the word always easy in trading because those things do not apply. But typically you have busy morning. So I believe the open will be busy, and then I think we'll die down and then enter into equilibriums, meaning price just goes sideways and consolidates in time, waiting for that FOMC to start. And then we'll go over FOMC reactions. If you were here for the last FOMC meeting, was that January? We just nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. We went play by play. I couldn't find those notes, but of course I've done these enough to know what to look for. So we'll go through that as well. Today's going to be a busy day. I want you to stop sometime before the market opens and visualize how you want the end of day to look. And I can't just emphasize this enough. I'm always very, very open with everyone about my losses and my history in trading, but I can't emphasize enough or repeat enough how many times I sat at the end of an FOMC meeting day and just stared at the wall thinking, I missed that home run setup. That was staring me in the eye. I knew to take that. Why didn't I take that? And I was hesitating. And then the trades that weren't high conviction, I wasn't hesitating. So I was getting it all let's just say backwards so I don't curse, all backwards. So you just want to visualize, how do you want to feel at the end of the day? You want to be patient. Patience is the name of the game on these days. If you start trying to scale in a short too soon, it'll rip your face off and vice versa. So it's all about patience. Hey, Jay Stevens, you're in Montana. Love Montana. Yeah, y'all hit those like buttons, please. Oh, wonderful, Matthew. Yeah, that AG trade was amazing. I looked at it at the end of day. First Majestic, that was just an amazing trade. Thanks, Roger. Hey, Young. Chris. Gareth, yes, we go quickly from fear to FOMO and FOMO to fear. Remember, the stock market is like a 2-year-old that's constantly throwing a temper tantrum, very erratic, very bipolar. Not bipolar, I don't mean that negatively toward anyone who has bipolar, but just extreme emotions in both directions. Yep, retail sales, okay. Hey, Mary. That's you, Mary. Thank you. Hey, Chris. Hey, Tammy. How are you? Oh, I just saw the Fubo request. Okay, Fubo. This name just makes me laugh. I guess I was thinking about Fubar. A 601 is the 52-week low. So we're not in black dirt breakdown. That's the first thing I'm going to look at. We lost at 621. Hit 607 and now 601. They had a green day yesterday, a green day this morning, but bears are going to be waiting right here at this Mars level. 728, 747, then 777. So in this case, I would think a gap up is for selling. I like this name short. 685, 694, and then $7 psychological resistance support, 667, 663. Hey, Chris. Hey, Jim. How are y'all? Are y'all doing great? So you're at the pregame show, and what I do is I have some handy dandy notes, and I copy and paste these notes over for the TCG members when I'm done. That way they can just mark it up and delete what they don't want to look at. It makes it a little bit easier to have like cliff notes of the day. So our process is we start with the indices, then commodities, cryptos, movers, and shakers of the day. I give you my Queen of the Mountain setups. If you're interested in my chart setup and you're like, what is that yellow line? You can click in the video description below and there is a link that will bring you to my chart setup. So this is the pregame show. This is who I am. Chart Gal Lori. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm only 6 followers away from 3,000 followers. Come on, look, I don't spam. I'm not too silly. I don't spam. Follow me. And I teach technical analysis and I'm part of the Chart Guys community. So let me show you that community. So we have 3 to 4 live shows a day, 4 shows, well, I guess 5 live shows 2 days a week, and then 4 live shows 3 days a week, and we answer your questions. So we have a thriving community. We met up in Mexico. There's me right there in the black sunglasses, and that's my husband, the very tall man. We met up in Cancun, Mexico 2 years ago, and we're going to meet up again this June. We have a wonderful community, and we have a Slack chat. And this is just the whiteboard. This is what you get every morning as being part of Chart Guys. We have the rundown typically done by Dan most days. It has the economics calendar, commodities, key levels and resistance. And then he goes over the major indices and then high beta stocks. SPY. This is what we're looking for. Here are the key levels. Amazon, Facebook, Nvidia, Netflix, Apple, Google, Tesla, VA, Neo, banks, the miners, biotech, then crypto, then VIX, then the MJ sector. I mean, look how invaluable this is. And this is every single day. We have a uranium channel where we're constantly posting findings of unusual call activity, Canadian stocks, crypto, marijuana, commodities. I think you get the picture. Thriving community. And so what I do here every day is bring awareness, is what I try to do is bring awareness to our community and its existence and ask you to reach out and join us if you would like. If not, just hang out here at the pregame show, free, and I'll do my best to help you as I can. And the format of this show is I rip through these charts, and then at 7 a.m. Mountain, 9 a.m. Eastern, we will have Dan going live, so I will be done by then. So let's get started with ES. I've never had this many notes for any show ever, so y'all are going to have to bear with me. Yesterday, I had to cut the show short. Dan went live with Open House, which I heard back from several of you that you enjoyed that, so that was good reason to cut it short. So again, if you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below. And please hit that like button here on the YouTube channel. Hit that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. If I say QOTM or Queen of the Mountain, it just means it's a setup with a higher conviction. Ninjas only is just my slang, and I have a lot of slang and analogies, and I talk fast. So I apologize for the slang and analogies if it's not a way that you learn. I also like to draw. I try to give the concepts in as many different representations visually in written form, so you can, whichever way you learn, it may help you click. So if it's something that doesn't click with you, just ignore it and just keep moving. Early morning could be volatile. The midday EQs form, waiting for FOMC. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for what I anticipate. Doesn't mean it'll happen like this, but what I anticipate is volatility at open. And then those highs and lows produce equilibriums that we get stuck inside until 2:30 Eastern when FOMC, when it concludes and then gives its findings, which The market has priced in, for the most part, which you never know, but has priced in a 0.25 interest rate hike. Let me say that again, 0.25. So, and anywhere from 4 to 5 rate hikes this year. Anything more than 3 or 4 would probably surprise the market. So if it's 0.5, we could see some major volatility. So what I want to see happen is I want an initial, as a market bull, I want an initial bear reaction to FOMC for a pullback entry. It's hard to enter up here long, up in the nosebleed section. Now remember, that's on a 0.25 rate hike. If it goes down, then I want to buy, and I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait for some friends to join me on the trade. But if it's a 0.5 rate hike, that drop, I'm going to scale into even more slowly because that it was unanticipated. So just remember the difference, or not remember, but recognize the difference. Ukrainian President, Mr. Zelensky, I'm not going to try to do the first name, will address both houses of Congress virtually today in 27 minutes. So that could create volatility. If there's anything unexpected that he hasn't already asked for, he's asked for NATO to declare a no-fly zone, or if he starts giving ultimatums to Russia or is more aggressive than he has been, then that could be a problem for the stock market and we could have some volatility. FOMC playbook. And I suggest that if you have not traded FOMC today, take your right hand right now, right hand, hold it up in the air. Now shove that right hand underneath that right hamstring, that right thigh. Shove it underneath there. And if you're left-handed, take your left hand, raise it up. Okay, now take that hand and shove it underneath your thigh and sit on your hands today. And at the end of the day, you can send me a $1 Starbucks gift card, joking, or a virtual hug saying, thank you, Lori, you saved me from losing money. If someone would have just screamed at me, sit on your freaking hands on FOMC days, if you're an inconsistently profitable trader, it would have saved me a ton of money. So please, please be protective. Okay, I'm getting tagged here. Okay. Okie dokie. All right, little spammers. All right. Yeah, if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be beautiful. Okay, so FOMC. Initial reaction isn't always the reaction that will get you continuation. I've only seen that once in the last, I would say, 5 years. And it was March of 2019, where I'm pretty sure that's the day because I wasn't trading and I was a little salty, where we spiked up and we kept going. We never had a fake out to the other side and then reverse. So the majority of the time, the initial reaction isn't always the reaction that will get the continuation. So if the initial reaction is down, then typically you'll get a reversal and then it'll go back up. But you can't depend on that. You still have to use stop losses. Then after the initial reaction, we get that reversal to the extreme, major extremes, up, down, or then down, up. And then the real reaction happens. And that can happen 45 minutes to an hour after the FOMC. Then you get that real reaction. That's also when Powell starts speaking as well. And then that's where you can get some follow through. So mark those charts up before you start and say, okay, here's my resistance, assuming this would be the FOMC time. All right. So you say, okay, here's my resistance. Here's my support. And then zoom out a little bit. Okay, where's my next resistance and support? And be ready. So I'm just as an example, if we were to charge into 4418, I would watch that stair step pattern on the 2 minute or 1 minute. And when it breaks to the downside, I would enter short using this level as my stop. Vice versa. If we would scream down into 4100, I would use some type of stair step on a lower time frame, and I would wait for that stair step to break to the upside and enter long. And right here, right now, that was probably the most valuable information I'm going to give you today. So just remember, the first reaction is not always the right reaction. Even the second isn't always the final reaction. It's typically that third move that has staying power. Mark those charts up. DAX is up, so German market's up 2%, Hang Seng up 9%. But just a side note, the Hang Seng Tech Index, 20%. Had to go verify my numbers. Up 20% this morning, meaning Hang Seng Index is up in financials and industrials, is up probably 5 to 6%. And then it's the tech that's carrying the weight of the market. And basically China said, hey, we're going to support our stock market. And there's also some stimulus we're looking at for this new COVID round, but we're going to definitely support, and I'm going to use slang words, prop up our market. They didn't say prop up, but that's slang words to kind of get it in your head what they're saying they're going to do. So that is really what is lifting the market. Positive Ukraine, Russia, potential compromise news lifting markets as well. So Russia is saying they may look at some type of scenario where Ukraine could keep military, something akin to Austria and another country. And we'll see how that goes. But we got a little spike on that this morning. We're giving that back right now. China stocks have gone straight from fear to FOMO in the exact major up down. And gap ups are for selling. So let's look at bulls. Let's look at bulls. So ES on the 4 hour, we are looking for, it actually looks better, I believe, on the 12 hour or daily. On the 12 hour, odds favor a lower high compared to 43.26. However, we got runway left, folks. Runway. We've got runway left on 4 hour. Look at that. We don't have runway left on the hourly, and that's why we're pulling back a little bit here. We were hitting about 81.82. So 81.82 hourly RSI, typically area where you're going to pull back. So the bulls are in control, and look at this room that they have for higher low on the 12 hour, on the 4 hour, on the hourly compared to 42.39. Lots and lots of room. So the other name of the game today is going to be back burners. You're going to want to set your alerts for names that you trade and say, tell me when the 5-minute RSI crosses 30. So this morning, I believe that there will be trade opportunities this morning on back burners for those names that have had huge runs like NASDAQ, like ES, like Baba, Baidu, NEO, XBEV, PDD, all the China names that are really gapping up hard. If they have any consolidation, I would be looking for those 5-minute back burner. Let's look at NASDAQ. So on NASDAQ, I was asked this morning, where did I think a good place to re-enter NASDAQ long? And I'm looking at this 0.65 retrace around 12537. And then if you look at it on the hourly, I kind of did a rectangle of the 8 and 21 EMA on the hourly. Somewhere in this zone, if we could have a 5-minute back burner, that could be a great place or a good place to enter NASDAQ long. So Hang Seng up 9%. Look at this. Straight up. But no daily trend change. But look at DAX. DAX got a daily trend change. Daily lower high, higher low, higher high, above 21 EMA. Now, we haven't done that in our market, but Germany has. Yesterday, we talked about Germany being a canary. It led our bounce yesterday morning by 5 minutes, gave us a 5-minute heads up. Is the DAX giving us a heads up that we too could get a daily trend change? I am hopeful and optimistic based on all of these daily falling wedges that we will see, but we have to have price confirmation. Hope doesn't pay the bills. And we have lots and lots of these. Look at this RTY daily potential falling wedge. So we're getting these tiny little lower lows without a lot of follow through. Look at the Dow. Tiny lower lows without a little follow through. But, YM Dow got follow through. Dow got a daily trend change overnight. That is huge. Huge. RTY daily trend change? No. NASDAQ? No. ES? No. YM? Yes. That is positive for financials today. All right. Yeah, if you could hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. Typically, rate hikes are bullish for XLF, but remember, XLF has been running. with the exception of the last 2 months, when QQQ has been consolidating a lot longer than XLF has. And XLF has a potential falling wedge as well. So yes, rate hikes are typically good for XLF, and Dow, what I just went over, that it has made a daily higher high, higher low. That's typically bullish for XLF because we have several financial names inside the Dow. US 10-year has not laid down at all. At all. So the fact that NASDAQ is up 1.5% this morning while the US 10-year is making 4-hour higher highs, that's pretty bullish. That means now stay with me, if the US 10-year pulls back, that's double bullish for NQ. That should give it a boost. So NQ is going up despite the bullishness in US 10-year. So if we can just get the US 10-year to sit down, that the NASDAQ bulls would really have a sigh of relief. So TLT is opposite of this. So TLT may get a daily oversold bounce going today. It's not daily oversold, but a 4-hour oversold bounce today. Look at these 4-hour EMAs suppressing price. So if you want something that can move a lot slower, doesn't always mean it will. TLT can move a little bit slower than names like GDX, Nugget, NASDAQ. TLT, I would be looking for on the bullish side, but it has to set up first. Okay, VIX. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Look, daily, lower low, lower high, and down. We've got a daily downtrend confirmation on VIX. That's good for the market. What's not good for the market is the weekly VIX bulls are still A-okay. They're like, we're not sweating this at all. We're still holding the 8 EMA. Plenty of room for a weekly higher low. So the market bulls are not out of the woods yet. Bitcoin, what did I write about Bitcoin? I wanted to keep it simple. Hourly and 4-hour lower highs most likely to scenario after last night's pump. So hourly here, lower high is on deck. Lower high on deck, and that's for hourly and for 4-hour. The good news is the bulls have made enough room for a higher low compared to this low on Ethereum of 2605 and on Bitcoin of 38850. Gold, where art thou daily higher low? I've been looking for you all over the land. We're waiting for daily higher low, potential 4-hour bear flag looking to turn bear here. But if we stay super bearish stay with me, if we stay super bearish into FOMC with gold, I'd be looking the other way for a gold trade to the long side, especially if we have a daily higher low still on deck. Oil, same thing. Not the same thing with FOMC. Oil is typically not as responsive to the FOMC as is gold. Gold has been super sensitive to FOMC. So oil needs to hold 90.06. Let me drink water. 90.06 for that daily higher low. And oil, same thing, potential 4-hour bear flag. Gold, you see the twinsies? See it? See it? Nat gas, not a twinsy. So 4-hour, lower low, and then up. And y'all know what I'm going to say about this. Weekly inside bar, and we've got this erratic price behavior. We keep getting these inside weeks. It's happened several times. Okay, market's pulling back pretty hard here. Well, not hard. I'm looking at a 1-minute chart, but we haven't had 5 red candles together in a while. Okay, so the 4-hour is looking this erratic because of that inside bar on a higher time frame. So we have oil inventory today at 10:30, nat gas inventory tomorrow at 10:30. I have no trade for you on nat gas unless you want to just bottom fish 445 and just make it light on yourself. Okay. Apple. So I have 2 perspectives on Apple, Queen of the Mountain trade, and this will be conflicting. So initially, first half of the day, so let me move this over. Maybe that'll help differentiate. So first half of the day, I'm looking short Apple. Short Apple against 159.19, a sneak resistance over here from March 10th. Looking at short Apple initially. However, I will be looking for a pullback buy at either the hourly 21 EMA or hourly 50 EMA for a pullback buy later in the day. So after FOMC, I'd be looking Apple long after the dust settles. But pre-FOMC this morning, I would use this gap up for shorting. BA, this is definitely my queen of the mountain trade. So I left my arrows on here. I talked to you about this Monday. So of the last 7 mornings as of Monday, the 6 gap ups were for selling, or any green move, not even gap ups, any green move. The gap ups were for selling. So I shared that with you Monday and it worked. I shared that, well, I didn't say it again yesterday, but some of you took this trade again and it worked. We are really gapping up here into 184.86 resistance. Can you see it? 184.86 resistance. So now that if we were to gap up here, which we are, and then push down so right now 8 of the last 9 mornings we've done that. Not necessarily a gap up, but open green and give it all back. So this would be the 10th morning. So 8 out of 9 times we've given it back. So BA is up here on my hot chart. That's what I will be looking at, is shorting BA this morning. It's top watch for me, recognizing it's part of the Dow, and the Dow is the strongest indices, and I don't necessarily want to get my face ripped off. Bye-bye. Beautiful move. Everybody's on the party bus with the great news from the government. And 89.43 is the 8 EMA. We're hitting that in pre-market. Your second target be the 21 EMA 101.14. Bears are going to be looking for entry up here. Resistance 93.39. And above 93.39, your next resistance is $94. So gap ups are for selling typically. But you got a lot of shorts trapped now. How many days of... Got a few days. It's not a lot, just 2 days of shorts trapped. So that kind of makes me feel a little bit better about a short this morning. So I'm looking short BABA, but remember, the safer trade is wait for a 5-minute back burner and say, tell me when RSI gets to 30 on the 5-minute, and then I'll take a look at it and see if it's a trade I want to take. So on all these big gap ups, you could top fish the gap up, or the safer trade is just wait for a back burner, trying to set those hourly higher lows, because now you have plenty of room for it. GDX. Okay, so GDX, my thoughts were bottom fish initially, major volatility expected with FOMC. So I'm looking for that daily higher low on gold. So GDX is a little bit sloppier of a chart. But on the hourly, I would love a pull back. We have plenty of room for hourly higher low, and it may come in the form of a back burner. So let me go set my back burner alert. For GDX, if you trade nugget and dust, today will be super volatile, or it typically is super volatile with FOMC. NIO, same thing. If you don't have a position and you say, I want a long, okay, well, wait for it to get 5-minute oversold, because it has plenty of room now for hourly higher low. Plenty. So just wait for that 5-minute back burner for it to happen, if it happens, to try to nail that long. When is getting a move up because of their Asia locations and the Chinese market being positive. In my opinion, this is a pretty big gap up just on a correlation move. So I would be looking for a short on Win compared to $76. And that also applies to other gaming names that have a presence in Asia like LVS. XLF. I don't trade earnings, Chris. Chris is asking about puts on game and earnings. I don't trade earnings. XLF, top fishing setup initially, potential bottom fishing after FOMC. So XLF is gapping up here. Big move up, and you could short against $38 and or $38.49. And just looking for a temporary top here. And then the really smart bulls are just going to wait and say, our traders, let's just wait. And I want to get a bottom fish if we have a bearish reaction on FOMC. I scalp and I swing. Okay. I will take one request. I'm trying to just read. Chegg. Okay, let's look at Chegg. That's Chinese name, online education, right? So no trades in pre-market. That's odd. So this is Chinese name, right? Chegg stock. Trying to look on Finance Yahoo. Yeah, I don't know that it is, so I probably need to stay with that. So with Chegg, you have a nice hourly EQ. So to position yourself within that queue, you could look to be bottom fishing 3019 or top fishing 3108. I'd feel more comfortable bottom fishing 3019 here if the market is still having a bullish lean. LYV, Live Nation. Man, Josh Brown loves this name, doesn't he? He pumps it all the time. Pump is the wrong word. I really like Josh Brown, but we have a weekly downtrend. Daily's attempting to fight to hold this double bottom. 106.45 is your key support and resistance 114.03. It's in no man's land up here for me. I would look to be shorting against 114 and or go long against using 108 as support. Oh, you're welcome, DC. Hey, y'all, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, bring a friend tomorrow. And I'm going to go copy all these notes right here and put them in the TCG room. And thank you for joining me.